Hello, welcome to the sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Open Series Season 4 Invitational in Seattle. I'm Nick Miller alongside Sam Black. How are you doing today?
I'm very good.
You are doing great, I would say.
Yeah.
X2-1 going into the last round of the Invitational.
Lock for top 8.
You're in. We'll see you on Sunday playing Standard, playing this deck,
Correct.
your Worlds deck, red-white
Mostly.
tokens. Talk about this deck, the iterations, and the changes you have made since Worlds.
Sure. So I wrote about the process for making this deck, but basically I stayed in a hotel with Craig Wesco for Grand Prix Ottawa, and he showed me his red-white wingmate rock deck, and we played some matches with it on Magic Online, and it went well. So I decided to start testing it, and I liked it a lot. I made some changes, some tweaks. He had Goblin Rabblemaster. A friend of mine, Robert Hatch, was playing on Magic Online with a different red-white deck that was Heliod's Pilgrim for Chain to the Rocks, right. And didn't have the prowess guys in the main. It was more controlling. I kind of spliced those two decks together, right, taking the cards that I liked from each. Craig's deck was very heavily Chandra based, whereas Robert's wasn't, and I liked the aggression. So anyway, I just took the stuff I liked, played around with it, and came up with the 75 that worked for me.
A Sam Black mismatch, as you will.
Yeah. So lots of props to my friends who came up with the shell, and then I just found the build that worked to my playstyle.
Right. So you've got the token engine. Obviously, you got Hordling Outburst and Raise the Alarm, which Stoke the Flames. But then you also have the Heliod's Pilgrim engine, which will find you Chain to the Rocks, and the one of Dragon Mantle, just for matches where Chain to the Rocks isn't really a card.
I've changed 3 cards in the main since World and 0 cards in the sideboard. The sideboard is the same. I cut 3 Swift Spears just because it was the last card in the deck. It was the weakest, and there were some things I wanted to add. I added 1 Erase because Whip of Erebos decks were my hardest matchups, and I just realized that there were no matchups where Erase is dead, so it seemed safe to play 1 main to be able to answer Whip. Dragon Mantle, sometimes you play against, my first match at Worlds was against Blue-Black Control, and I had to find Chain to the Rocks and just play it for prowess. And playing Dragon Mantle for prowess is a lot better. You create a threat and you draw a card. The Dragon Mantle's been great for me this week. Sometimes you just, it's an empty board late game, you play a 1-2, give it Fire Breathing, draw a card, and now your 1-2 Fire Breather is actually a real threat. Fire Breathing on Seeker of the Way is awesome. So the Dragon Mantle was a great change. And then I just added a 4th Stoke the Flame. I just wanted another answer to Storm Breath Dragon.
All right. You got 3 Eidolon of the Countless Battles.
Yeah.
That card, got kind of cut from the Blue-White Heroic deck.
Yeah.
How good is it in this deck?
It's much, much, much better in this deck than the Blue-White Heroic deck.
3 muches.
Instead of just having creatures and enchantments that go to the graveyard that I'm finding with Heliod's Pilgrim, I have Chain to the Rocks that makes the game go longer and hangs out in play forever, pumping up the Eidolon and Countless Battles, and I have Token Makers. So I have just a board full of random small creatures that aren't doing anything, rather than guys that my opponent's aggressively killing and cards that make single guys, and it's worlds different.
Yeah. You've got Chandra, which is just a beating against the Jeskai Tokens deck, just picks them apart. I think I heard you talking to someone who said this deck has a very good matchup against that deck. Is that one reason why you stuck with it?
I stuck with it because I played it at Worlds because I really like it. I stuck with it because I still like it. And I just, I actually tried other decks this week because I was worried about Hornet Queen. Hated all the other decks I played, so decided to just play the deck I know, and I know this deck inside and out. Right. And as it turned out, I didn't play against Hornet Queen a single time in 8 rounds here, so I'm very happy with the decision, of course.
You did go 7-1 in Standard.
Yes.
So the deck performed very well for you. What was your 1 loss in Standard?
My 1 loss was one of the 3 times that I played against Blue-White Heroic.
Okay. And how do you find that matchup?
Great. I lost in game 3 when I had Chandra going for 3 turns, drawing 2 cards a turn, and I just couldn't find a 5th land and died with 7 cards in my hand.
So you didn't change the sideboard at all from Worlds.
Correct.
You've got a full set of Erase to join your 1 in the main, just as you said, the Whip decks, Ascendancy, stuff like that.
Yeah. Ascendancy, I actually prefer Glare of Heresy as an answer, because Ascendancy is usually their only target. Unless, if it's Ascendancy combo, I want Erase. If it's Jeskai Token Ascendancy, I want Glare of Heresy so that I can answer Seeker of the Way and Elspeth.
Okay.
Because it's not so important to do it at instant speed.
Right. Very powerful. You've got some Arc Lightnings.
That's
Just
for
more-
the other Hordling Outburst decks, red aggro, and also to have an out for Hornet Queen.
Okay. And the Ash Cloud Phoenix, this card been popping up in a lot of decks on the Open Series. It's just a very tough to deal with threat.
Yeah.
Where are you really bringing this guy in?
I've actually started bringing it in against almost everyone.
Okay.
I don't bring it in against red aggro. The card is wildly overperformed in all matchups. I actually think that I should be playing it main, possibly over Chandra.
So is this last Monastery Swift Spear sort of on the chopping block?
There's a chance. I do like keeping the curve low, but I could see it.
All right. Well, the deck is sweet. We look forward to seeing you play on Sunday. Hopefully see you in Roanoke for the Players' Championship.
That would be
Sam,
great.
thanks for joining me here in the sideboard. Stay tuned to
Anytime.
StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Seattle.